Say primates or something.
No, that would make sense though, yeah? Like, I don't know, a gorilla, a chimp, something real similar to a human? Nope, they're good. They produce it on their own. It's guinea pigs.
Weird.
Fun fact on the side, that's why when we're doing science, we're like, I need a guinea pig. That's why we say guinea pigs.
Oh.
Because when we were trying to figure out scurvy, and we found out guinea pigs can't do it, they need it from their food source. Why am I talking about vitamin C? Vitamin C is essential for collagen production. Without it, we can't produce collagen, and we melt. Holes form because collagen is key in making fascia, in making ligaments, making our skin, and making this essential basement membrane. Collagen and laminin. Your basement membrane serves to provide tissue and cell support for these epithelial layers. It is not found in your connective tissue membranes. It is only found in epithelial membranes. Alright, let's talk about your skin, your cutaneous membrane. One of your three epithelial membranes. So, accessory organs aren't necessarily organs, per se. Not in the sense that we think about them. But you have your hair, your nails, which are hardened plates of what? What's your hair and nails made out of?
Keratin.
Keratin, absolutely. Sudoriferous glands, as we said, are sweat glands. Sebaceous glands produce sebum or oil. And then we have our general sensory receptors. Talked about this at Talk About. What's the purpose of your skin? Well, we already named one. We go out in the sun and we get vitamin D, which is essential for utilization of the good cholesterol in our body. Remember I said the same embryonic layer that makes your brain and all your nerves also makes your skin? Whenever you're hanging out in a room, doesn't matter how many people are in there or not, there are certain people that when they walk through the door, you feel it, right? Or you just feel when somebody's looking at you, you're driving down the road, and you look over at the person driving next to you, and you guys like both look at each other at the same time. It's weird, right? People watching, and you're like watching somebody, and they turn and they look at you. It's our skin. We can feel it. It's the largest sensory organ in our body. Thanks to the multiple sensory receptors located within, thanks to our hair, there are chemoreceptors that sense chemicals. So yeah, simply when you apply something topically, you're absorbing it, and whatever it is being communicated to your brain. But also chemical changes in the air, too. Whenever there's about to be a big storm, like a lightning storm, and it feels electric in the air, not only is your hair standing up on end due to the static, but there are more electrons. Nope. Protons. Protons are the positive ones, right? Yeah. Oh, it threw me off. That's why I didn't do chemistry. Our body can sense that. Our chemoreceptors can sense that. There's been a chemical change in the air. So take care of your skin. It also excretes and absorbs. It can absorb that lotion. It can absorb water, medications. Whatever you put on your skin is being absorbed. So be mindful of that with massage. In this state, we are not allowed to massage or use CBD oil in our massage practice. You can sell it, but you can't use it. You can use it for personal use at home, on your friends, your family, but in your massage practice, our state board has been like, nah, it's not us. And I get that because they're saying it trends into FDA, I guess, territory. I really feel like the board's being like, I don't know. Just like hands up, I don't mess with it. So be mindful of absorption, because what we can use, my favorite is Tiger Balm. Have y'all heard of Tiger Balm? Mm-hmm. It's topical analgesic. It's the best. BioFreeze, not my favorite. Very similar though. They both use menthol. Icy Hot, over-the-counter stuff. Don't do that. But it works the same. You can use things like this. They're called liniments. They're topical muscle relaxers. So they target the muscle tissue localized versus taking like Tylenol or ibuprofen or something. We're allowed to use that. But if you use it on 6 or 7 clients in a day, you've just absorbed all that through your hands. Sometimes though it's nice. I like working on somebody and I got a little extra, I'll just like rub it on my forearms and keep going. Forearms get real tight, so like some for you, some for me. Excretion. Sweating, getting rid of waste products, metabolic waste. Not necessarily toxins. That's a soapbox for another day. Or maybe today. Do we have toxins in our body? Let me just open the floor. Do we have toxins in our body?
Yes.
Yeah.
What are they? What's a toxin?
Bad stuff.
What's bad stuff?
The food we eat, not playing. I don't know.
Could be if you eat food that has
some of it
pesticides, maybe.
Yeah.
That does have toxic effects. There are bacteria that, when broken down, they're neutralized, but they have a toxic byproduct that's produced. That could be on your food, could be in your water. What about smoking? Or caffeine? Caffeine's a drug. I'm pointing to my coffee right now. I'm pointing to my coffee.
What about the air, like pollution, like getting in, like breathing in? Is that
Mhm.
like,
Does massage help to eliminate toxins?
I think so. Don't we move it around, like flush it out? Like if we, no.
We don't do that. If there are toxins in the body, these environmental factors, it's our massage. Our massage doesn't flush it out. We just increase the efficacy of metabolism for the day. So they might sweat it out, but it's them that are doing it. That's why we tell them to drink water. It's so important to drink water. That's why when you're sick, you sweat. You're excreting these toxic byproducts. We usually like to say metabolic waste, but the word toxin gets thrown out a lot. Our skin is also involved with temperature regulation. Thermogenesis. Do you remember that word from last week? We were talking about adipose tissue. White fat and brown fat. Sorry. We sweat to cool us down, not just excrete waste. We sweat to cool us down. We get goosebumps. It's a primal response to chills. Our hair stands on end to try and like keep heat around us, but we have such fine little hair, some of us. Doesn't really do much anymore. And first and foremost, it protects us. It's a physical barrier that keeps our insides inside and the outside, ideally outside. Any pathogens you come in contact with, they stay outside, as long as you don't have an open wound on your hand. Or somewhere, you're good. That's why it's so important you wash your hands before you eat, before you go to massage, because you could have something on you and then you put it on your client, your partner, and then they take it into the world with them. Definitely wash your hands after. It's not just to wash off the oil. It's to wash off their skin cells, whatever their bacteria is. Because we all have our own unique combinations. Eventually, when you guys go to graduate, you'll have made enough physical contact, you now start to share some of the same types of bacteria. You already do. Humans usually do. Isn't that gross? Kind of cool though. It boosts your immune system. Let's talk about skin layers. Oh, they didn't show us a picture of the serous membrane? Oh well, it's in your book. Page 64 has this picture on it. This will show up on a test. Isn't it also on your homework, I do believe?
Yeah, the worksheets.
Yeah. So it's homework, but it's also, you'll see it on a test, so maybe we'll start on that. 3 main layers of the skin. Epidermis, dermis, which is known as your true skin. It's your true skin because it has all the stuff in it. It has the erector pillae, all the sensory organs, your various glands, sweat and oil glands. Most vascularity is within the dermis. There is some in the hypodermis. You got your hair follicles. All that. Do you see this reticular region here, the squiggly part? You see the dark pink line there between the two? That dark pink line is your basement membrane. It is microscopic. But that is where your epidermis and your dermis meet. It has 2 sides, your papillary and your reticular region. That's your basement membrane. Below your dermis, you have your hypodermis, or what's sometimes known as your subcutaneous layer. This is where the adipose is. There's adipose everywhere. It's a good shock absorber and insulator. Keeps us warm.
Is it just connective tissue from the adipose layer to the muscles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just all
fascia.
connective tissue.
Yep.
Okay.
If you guys want, I do have a video that shows this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cadaver. He's got a mask on. And the guy who did Bodyworks, the German guy, I can never remember his name. But he always reminded me from the fur guy from 101 Dalmatians with Glenn Close. Skinner.
Was it Experience Anatomy? That's what you're talking about? In Charlotte?
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. I'm going on May 6th, but I don't think it's like a...
Yeah. Is it their open house?
Yeah, it's just
You'll
an
still
open
see some
house.
stuff.
Okay, that's what I was reading.
You'll see, like, for me, when I went, they had a leg that was, like, capped off.
Mm-hmm.
So you couldn't see, like, inside that it was, here's a leg.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had, like, a leg that was, like, bones, but they had the joints intact, so you could see that. And then there was, like, a heart with a pacemaker in it, which was really cool. A brain, a lung.
It's all like plasticized, or it's just...
The brain they have to preserve somewhat,
Mm-hmm.
because if you just put a brain on the table, within an hour it'll just be
Mm-hmm.
melted down to nothing. Because your brain is actually mostly goo, neurons and goo, versus every other organ. You're gonna love it.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna love it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just gonna sit in your car afterwards and be like, oh yeah. I can show you guys a video if you want. You can opt out. We'll do that at the very end of the lecture. in this, in your dermis, you see here your hair follicles.